The benefits of exercise on mental health and your brain. Brought to you by Mac Engaged and Fit for Thought.
This is Tommy. He lives with his grandmother in Brainville. When he isn't in school, he is sitting in front of the television or playing video games. He hates the outdoors almost as much as he hates being active. Tommy is your typical lazy bones. Tommy goes to Brainville Elementary School. Don't ask Tommy what his favorite subject is. He doesn't have one. Whether it is math class, English class, or science class, Tommy sits at his desk, head in his hands, trying not to fall asleep. And his marks? Not good. Not good at all. Tommy has no idea what is going on. Tommy can't seem to focus on anything. After school, Tommy waits for his grandmother to pick him up in the library. He sits and waits. Does he have homework today? He can't remember. Did he remember to put his lunch bag in his backpack? He opens his bag. It isn't there. What time did his grandmother say she was coming to get him? He's forgotten that too. Tommy can't seem to remember anything. The next day, Tommy's grandmother comes down with a terrible cold, sneezing, coughing, the whole shebang. "You'll have to walk to school, Tommy," she said. "Give yourself lots of time to get there." But Tommy didn't listen, and to avoid being late, he had to run to school. That day, Tommy found that his eyes didn't droop as much. He wasn't quite as tired. As he walked home, he passed the library. He remembered that his grandmother had a cold and wouldn't be coming to pick him up. He checked his bag. He even had remembered his lunch bag. Tommy put on his headphones, and as he walked, there was more of a bounce in his step. Once he was home, he checked on his grandmother. "You're looking happy today, Tommy," she said. Before playing his video games that night, Tommy did his math homework, which he had remembered. All that week, Tommy walked to school. He bounced along to his music, sometimes even whistling along. He waved to his neighbors as he passed. For the first time, Tommy had a favorite school subject, science. He hadn't realized how interesting it was. And he'd even gotten an A on his last math quiz. All that week, Tommy hadn't forgotten his lunch bag once, and by the end of the week, Tommy chose to kick the soccer ball around with the neighborhood kids instead of playing video games. Even when Tommy's grandmother's cold went away, Tommy continued to walk to school, and sometimes his grandmother even joined him.
When we started our story, Tommy was your typical inactive kid. He represents the 93% of Canadian children who don't meet the guideline of 60 minutes of physical activity a day. Tommy is inactive and spends most of his time either sitting in a classroom or sitting in front of the TV. Healthy habits, such as getting the recommended dose of physical activity, are not only beneficial for maintaining physical health, but mental health as well. At the beginning of the story, Tommy can't focus in class and his marks are terrible. Tommy's school represents the frontal lobes of our brain. A lack of physical activity results in an inability to stay focused, make plans, coordinate actions, and ignore distractors, all of which are activities controlled by the frontal lobes. An increase in physical activity will improve the functioning of the frontal lobe. When Tommy becomes more active, we see him being able to focus more in class. Exercise has improved his goal-directed activity and his marks go up as well.
We also see Tommy at the library, which in this story represents our hippocampus. The hippocampus is involved in storing memories. Its volume is also related to a person's cardiovascular fitness. When someone is physically active, new neurons are created in the hippocampus. When Tommy was inactive, he couldn't remember anything, but once he started exercising, new neurons were created in the hippocampus and his memory improved. Thirdly, we see Tommy at his grandmother's house. Here we see Tommy engaged in a range of emotions. At the beginning of the story, he is very stressed out and anxious, but at the end, he is much happier. In this story, Tommy's grandmother's house represents the amygdala. The amygdala is involved in regulating your emotions and levels of stress. Exercise has been seen to help alleviate depression, which is what we see with Tommy.
For more information on the benefits of exercise on mental health, or if you have any questions, please email us at fitforthought.macengaged@gmail.com.